Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to After the Huddle here. As always, it's your boy Jacob, Jared to my right. We're also again together again today. Uh, Playoffs are finally here, Jared.
Playoffs.
It's about damn time. Playoffs are finally here. Uh, Week 18's in the books. We didn't have a chance to go over um other stuff today. We didn't have a chance to go over Week 18 much. Uh, some scheduling issues, and then my internet went out. We had some bad storms here. It was terrible. Um, but outside of that, we're back. Obviously, we're here to pick the games for the weekend. Talk about some news that's going on that we've seen, some things that have happened across the league and even in college. Uh, some big news dropped. For those who are wondering why I'm wearing a Saquon Barkley jersey today, it's because Saquon is no longer with the Giants.
What?
Yes. And he's leaning towards more likely because he doesn't want to get tagged. They don't want to tag him again because of how much money it would cost to tag him. And it's looking more and more likely that Saquon is going to hit free agency. So, best player on our team is leaving.
Does this have a reminiscence of Odell?
No, because with Odell it was different. When we signed Odell, and then all offseason, all you heard Gettleman say was, "We're not going to trade Odell. We don't want to trade him. We want to keep him." Signed him to a lucrative deal, and then what happened before the season started, Jared? We traded him to Cleveland for like a second round and Jabril Peppers. So yeah, Devin. It's looking more and more likely that he's not going to be back.
Where did you hear this?
It's been a few articles. Been some stuff around, like, because I pay attention to like the New Jersey stuff in New York.
So does Schefter or anything said anything yet?
Schefter and them haven't said anything yet. It's not so much that it's big news that's breaking and all types of stuff like that, where we know for a fact he's not coming back. But it's looking more and more likely that he's not, because the Giants don't want to pay him a contract for some odd reason. All the money was $40 million a year for Daniel Jones. Stupid. And then they don't want to tag him. He doesn't want to be tagged. Which I don't blame him for not wanting to be tagged. But he's getting to a position where he's like 26, 27, and he's entering that prime, and he's got like the next 3, maybe 4 years of really good running back prime, and then he's going to start to decline. And I don't blame him for not wanting to be with the Giants. He can come out and say all day, "Oh, I want to be a Giant for life. This is where I want to stay," and he could really mean that. But I'm letting him know his career is going to end with no ring, because we're not going to win a Super Bowl in the next 4 to 5 years unless we go and just all of a sudden turn it around like the Texans did off of one draft.
Don't see that happening.
And I don't see that happening either.
Y'all just lost Wink too.
And Wink is Wink. Our defensive coordinator is gone, which I expected that to happen. There was a lot of reports throughout the year that him and Daboll were like button heads, and not really on the same pages together.
They didn't fire him. He straight up quit.
Yeah, he quit. Yeah, he quit. It was over with. So I wasn't surprised about that. Thank God, though, we fired Bobby Johnson. For those who don't know, Bobby Johnson is
OG Bobby Johnson.
Bobby Johnson is our offensive line coach, and I am thankful for God Almighty in the skies below that he's gone, because our offensive line was terrible. So there has to be some give and take here with the offensive line. Like I said, defensive coordinator's gone. We fired our linebackers coach. We fired our D-line coach. They're about to revamp the entire defense, because we have players, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And we were a decent defense. I wouldn't say top 10. I'd probably say top 15. But we have the talent of a top 10 defense.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, Wink's not a terrible defensive coordinator, but he blitzed way too much. I mean, I have no problem with blitzing. I'm huge on if you get to the quarterback, that's the best thing you can do on defense outside of a takeaway. And we got to him, but we didn't get to him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like there were games where I saw Kayvon Thibodeau walk away with 3 sacks in a game, 2 sacks in a game, but he ended the season I think with like 12 sacks. So if he's getting 3 one game, 2 another game, that's 5 right there. There's 17 games. What's that? 15 games with 7 sacks? That's not all that great. You know, he had a good season technically because of stats wise, but if you actually watch the games like I do, it's not all that great.
Yeah, before Wink left, y'all were able to contain let's say y'all were able to contain Lamar.
Yeah, well that's also because he played with Lamar.
Yeah,
you know, the last time we played the Ravens last year, not this past year, not this past season, because the last we can still say last year, last season, we played Lamar, we beat them. We started off that season like 6-2, so
yeah, y'all playoff run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we ended bad. We only won like 3 games in our last 9.
Well, you did prove Minnesota was a fraud too.
We talked about Minnesota being frauds all year that year.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I said on live, like, hey, this team's not really.
Yeah.
They're not like that. They're winning a lot of these close games, and now it's the Eagles doing that, and you're starting to see the Eagles not be able to get in these close games because when they're in close games, they seem to win them, but whenever they start to get beat, they seem to lose them.
Yep.
So,
and we'll talk about that game in a minute.
Yeah, I have all the games. You know what's crazy about this schedule is that they have
storylines.
They have all the AFC games playing first, and then the NFC games playing after.
Did you realize the storylines they got?
Well, yeah, they have a few. They
got the Stafford and Goff storyline.
Yeah, they got
McCarthy in the fourth.
You got Hill going back to Kansas City.
Hill in Kansas City, yeah.
You know, I mean, Green Bay Dallas is a classic playoff matchup anyway.
Yeah.
I
mean, they got a few.
Yeah, they got a few good storylines.
Didn't Pittsburgh play Buffalo last year?
It's possible.
I don't remember.
I can't remember last year as much. But we have some other news that we were gonna go over today. Oh wait. First thing I wanted to talk about was Gerard Mayo is being hired as the new head coach of New England Patriots. For all those that didn't know, Bill Belichick parted ways. He didn't get fired. For a lot of people, he's a Hall of Fame head coach, probably the GOAT coach. You know, he didn't get fired. They parted ways. He is not retiring, so he is looking to go somewhere else. But before we get into that, Jared, I want to get your take on how you feel about Gerard Mayo being hired as the new head coach of the New England Patriots.
I'm not mad about it, but I'm not happy about it because in his contract he had written in there he was going to be the successor to Belichick. My thing is, we didn't even call Vrabel to see if he wanted to do an interview. Didn't even call him or anything.
Maybe they weren't high on Vrabel.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about on that part. I mean, you would think so because you would think so because it's the same thing with Gerard Mayo. He was a player there along with Vrabel.
Yeah, but Mayo's been there the last couple of years, hasn't he?
Since 19.
Exactly, he's been there for 4 years.
Yeah, but I think the only thing is the knockback with Vrabel and the Mayo thing is Vrabel didn't coach under Belichick.
That's true. That is true.
So that's probably why they want to stay in-house under Belichick with Mayo and everything. I mean, I get it, cool, but I still want to venture out into other branch coaching trees.
Do you think it's possible that instead of going into another head coaching role, that Bill takes some kind of front office role with the Patriots?
I got one for you. Instead of going to another team in the league, he goes to Bama.
Bro, oh my God, I hope my boy Alex isn't watching. Oh my God, don't get that stuck in his fucking head. And my boy Alex is a Bama fan. We'll get into that in a second as well.
But I mean, I talked to Brian because Brian's an Alabama fan.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh my God! No wonder why me and him never really got along. Totally kidding, Brian. I absolutely love you.
But I was talking to him the other night, and I was like, watch Belichick go and take Saban's spot. He was like, honestly, he would probably be the only one that could do it, and then to bring it back to win championships and everything.
Yeah, but can he? Has Bill ever been in college?
What you mean?
Like, has he ever coached college?
I think so.
How, I mean, think about the difference between because he's been in the NFL for so long. I
Yeah.
want you to think about this.
Oh, he's been there for a minute.
This man was last job opportunity before the Patriots was he was giving the press conference and he was talking about the different types of reporters and he was like whether it be reporters in the news or on TV or internet and they're like if you listen to that press conference the reporters in there laughed at internet because they're like internet reporters. You got to think about it. This is back in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So back then the internet reporters weren't thought of as like oh these great reporters, these big time names. And now this man has been tending to the Patriots for so long. We are in a totally new technological era.
24 years.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I don't think he could survive in college the way that you think he could because the recruiting and the NIL deals and the transfer portal, everything is so different now.
Another thing is, I think that he's not going to go there. Is Saban? Saban's got a front office job now. Saban's got a front office job with Alabama. So does Belichick really want Saban looking over his shoulder at what he does, this, that, and the fourth?
I mean, no, you're right. You're right. I don't disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm my main thing is just like Saban lived for the recruiting.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He lived for the recruiting. So I'm not. I don't think that that's going to take a hit because Saban is still there in the front office. However, if Belichick is the head coach, I don't think he craves that recruiting like Saban did.
That's fair.
And is Belichick older than Saban?
Bill's 71. I think they're about the same.
They're close. I think Saban's like 72, 73, if I'm not mistaken.
They're a few years apart.
Yeah, they're not any really all that big far apart.
Yeah.
But I mean, outside of that, what's your expectation of the team going into next season?
Well, we hired a DC as our head C again. I mean, look how.
You'll get Judon back. You'll get Christian Gonzalez back.
The only thing, the thing is, the reason why we hired him is his leadership role. Everybody said he's a good leadership. He played from like 08, 09, I believe, to.
Okay, Mike was muted for some reason. No, I you got to give him a couple years because right now your team is rebuilding.
Yeah.
You know, I think y'all go and draft. I ain't gonna lie. My first 5 picks, I still got Caleb Williams going 1. Y'all are at 2, right?
3.
And then 2's gonna be. I don't know if the head coach over there is gonna draft an offensive line or a quarterback.
Well, my thing is, do you think? Well, Washington's out on Belichick. They already said they're out on Belichick. Are they going to promote Bieniemy?
It's possible. It's possible they promote Bieniemy, but I also think Bieniemy's going to look around to see if he has a better opportunity elsewhere.
Right. No, that's understandable.
Because I've already said this to my dad, who's a Washington fan. If Bieniemy becomes the head coach, why do you think he won't go draft a QB that he likes?
Exactly. No, I feel that 100%. Now, the only thing I'm hoping for New England, I hope we trade the 3 for the 1 and just swap with the Bears.
And go get Caleb Williams?
Yeah. But we'll probably have to give up a little bit more just because, we're swapping. But we won't have to give up as much with just them just dropping down 2 spots.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if Chicago drafts Marvin Harrison or they trade that number 1 pick, I feel like Caleb's going to be there at 2, or he's going to be gone from the enemy.
Quick on that Marvin Harrison thing. Jared pointed out a good thing to me, so I went and looked up an article recently. There's an article out there talks about the Texas quarterback.
Ewers?
Yes, Ewers from Texas, their quarterback.
He's going back to school.
He's going back to school. Exactly. Yeah. And the reason why I can see him going back to school is because of all the quarterbacks that are coming out now. You go back, you try to go for the playoffs again, get your name out there more, and then you could be a top 5 pick next year. What's to say that Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't go back to school this year? Oh, he declared?
Yeah, he declared.
Because you talked to me literally yesterday and said that he didn't declare.
And then like an hour or 2 later, he declared.
No way. I didn't even see that.
I didn't either. And then, let me see. I think Schefter reported it.
Yeah, well, if he declared, then that's a little bit different. He's going to be a top 5 pick, I think.
Oh, yeah. He'll be a top 3.
I don't think he'll be top 3. I explained this to somebody else. Me and my boy Logan. Me and Logan were talking. And at first he was like, I don't think 3 quarterbacks go in the first 3 picks. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, the only way that happens is that the Bears don't trade Justin Fields and then draft Marvin Harrison Jr. number 1 overall. That's the only way that that's happening. Because I don't think they're going to draft an offensive lineman at number 1. You get a guaranteed player, and the most guaranteed player in this draft is Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they'll do that. I think they're going to trade back. I think they're going to keep Justin Fields. I think they're going to trade back in the draft from the number 1 spot to maybe number 3, number 4, something like that. Okay. I think like I said, they trade back in the draft. I don't know exactly what. I mean, they still have the 9th pick as well. People don't realize that the Bears still have the 9th pick.
9 or 10, I think. I think it's 10.
10. Yeah, 10. They have the 10th pick. So, I still could see them drafting far back, getting 3 first-round picks plus more for that first overall. I mean, think about this. When Washington traded up to the number 1 spot to grab RG3, remember that?
Yeah.
Washington.
I thought Luck was 1.
I'm sorry, 2.
Yeah.
They went from 6 to 2, and they gave up 3 first-round picks and that year's second-round pick for moving up to 6 to 2. What do you think you can get for number 1 for all these people who are calling Caleb Williams a generational player, a guaranteed guy, all types of stuff like this?
Yeah.
How much do you think you can get for that number 1 spot? You can get a fucking vault load, bruh, for that number 1 pick, no matter where it's coming from.
Yeah. Yeah, you really could. I mean, shit, who's to say where Bill goes, he doesn't trade up to try to get him. But knowing Bill, he's going to trade back.
I honestly think Bill goes to the Chargers.
I mean, I would like to see him go to the Chargers because we've talked about this multiple times.
Yeah, I honestly think he goes to the Chargers. I don't see him going to a place like Atlanta, who's still kind of in a rebuild. He's not going to go to Washington, who's in a rebuild. He doesn't want to rebuild. He wants to come in with guaranteed players, Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. He can maybe build up that defense, who has talent on that. Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Asante Samuel Jr., Derwin James. Eric Kendricks is over there. These are guys who are good players, and they were one of the worst defenses in the league. What does that point to, Jared? We always talk about if you have talent, but it's not working out, it's coaching.
Yeah. Look at Josh McDaniels.
Exactly.
Man, he's another name. He's probably going to go with Bill, too.
I don't think they'll get rid of Kellen Moore. I don't think Kellen Moore is still a good offensive coordinator, in my opinion.
Here's what they could do. They hire Bill.
He's not the best, but he's good.
They hire Bill. They keep Kellen Moore, and they made Josh quarterback coach.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that because you got a surefire quarterback with Justin Herbert over there. You know what I mean?
Easily.
So you got to get coaching to upgrade that defense. Wait, y'all supposed to be wearing teams in the playoffs? Is the picture of what y'all doing, bro? I'm not wearing playoff teams. We're not bandwagons over here, Tracy.
We're not doing that.
You know, we go with our teams. We talk about our teams, but we're not gonna wear other teams' gear unless I make a bet or something.
That's like him wearing a Philly shirt and me wearing a Buffalo shirt.
No, if you're wearing a Buffalo shirt, then you got me wearing a Dallas shirt. I hate Dallas more than I hate Philly.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'm not doing that. Speaking of which, let's move on here to another coach who's gone. We talked about it a little bit. Nick Saban out as head coach of Alabama. I'm a little shocked by this.
Yeah.
We talked about Bill Belichick throughout the season possibly being this last year for the Patriots. We kind of saw this coming. But Saban, this shit was out the blue.
Yeah.
I was not ready. I wasn't ready for that. I got Bucks jerseys for both of y'all. Which player y'all want? I don't want nothing Bucks. I ain't wearing no Bucks jersey. The only one I'd possibly wear is Mike Evans.
That's probably the only exception.
The only except or
Devin White.
Unless he's going with old school players, I wear a Mike Allstott jersey. Yes, sir. Mike Allstott was that guy.
Who was the safety when they won the Super Bowl?
Or Warren Sapp. I liked Warren Sapp a lot.
I can't think of his name. Who was the safety when they won the Super Bowl with Warren Sapp in Tampa?
John Lynch.
Yeah, I wear one of his.
John Lynch, yeah.
For a minute.
John Lynch did that motherfucker. Then he went to the Broncos. Now he's the San Francisco GM or president of football operations.
I think
something
he's
like that.
GM.
He's something like that.
Something front office.
But yeah, as I was saying, Nick Saban out as head coach at Alabama. We didn't see it coming at all. I'm shocked. I was a little shocked by this. I was prepared for Bill. I'm not really prepared to talk about what Saban is what they're going to do at Alabama.
All I know is he got a front office job now.
Yeah, he's in the front office now. I got that all-star for you, of course. Oh yeah, Mike Allstott was that guy. That man was a human bowling machine. Who's at University of Washington Huskies? Is that the head coach?
That's what I'm.
Oh, is that the OC or something? I don't really know much about Washington's team. I just knew they got blown out. I follow college to an extent because I'm an Ohio State fan. Go Buckeyes!
I don't remember if I heard this right, but I thought Washington was talking to, or no, might have been vice versa. Michigan was talking to Washington's head coach if Harbaugh leaves.
I don't think Harbaugh's leaving. There's all this talk about Harbaugh leaving, going back to the NFL. Is the head coach? Okay. Yeah. See, I don't really believe that Harbaugh is going to leave. I really don't. They've shown nothing. And on top of that, they got this whole cheating scandal with the signs stealing. No, but that's what I'm saying. But why would you leave that instead of overcoming it?
He just won the championship with that.
I'm not saying that.
Being suspended.
But they talked about that they still stole during the season this year. They were still doing it at one point. But whether they were or they weren't, I would come back for one more season and try to defend that title.
Well, that's fair. Because at that point, I think JJ would come back. I think a lot of team players would come back just for that.
I don't see why they wouldn't. You go defend your title. That's what I would want to do.
Yeah, but a lot of players may not be eligible to come back.
It's possible. But yeah, I don't know which way they're going to go. They could go Washington head coach. I don't really know much head coaching openings as far as like coaches that are going to be there. Yeah, good luck to Bama now.
Shit.
Because y'all are going to have to keep Saban there for recruiting. You're going to have to.
I think one kid decommitted. I think from when it happened. I think as far as I know, one.
And they're going to get a lot more of decommits. Yep. And I don't know. I want to see. The playoffs just ended for them. The championship just happened. It's still real early to start talking about recruitment classes and all types of stuff like that and how they're gonna do. I want to see what head coach is going to come in and how is it going to relate to their team.
What if Dabo goes there?
Dabo? I don't know about that.
What if Alabama?
He's not going to leave Clemson. He just signed like a huge ass contract.
What if somehow they pry Kirby Smart from Georgia?
Nah. Yeah, he gonna pull
no,
a Nick Saban?
Fuck no, I don't think he's.
Nick Saban did that with LSU. All right, y'all. Well, it's time to start getting to these games, Jared. We got the first round of Wildcard weekend, the playoffs. Very first game that's going to be going on. You got the Browns at the Texans. Browns are the 5 seed. Texans are the 4 seed. Browns are actually a 2.5 point favorite on the road. Texans are over under in this game is 44.5. Texans played the Browns already. They lost, but CJ Stroud wasn't playing that game. He was out that game. How big of a difference do you think CJ Stroud is, and does it equate to the Texans beating the Browns and moving on?
Well, CJ didn't play the last game?
He did not, but they got steamrolled.
Who? The Browns?
The Browns steamrolled them.
Well, okay, so
with no Stroud.
And this would be interesting. See CJ's first time against Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
I don't know if Denzel Ward's playing. I think he hurt his knee.
That's kind of bad. That's a little shaky. little shaky.
But my thing is, who is he throwing the ball to? Who is CJ throwing the ball to? Is Noah Brown playing?
Collins is supposed to be playing. Noah Brown's supposed to be playing. Tank Dell's the only one of their starters that are really out.
Is Schultz playing? Does he have his tight end?
I'm pretty sure they're relatively healthy.
Okay,
they're relatively healthy right now. I'm pretty sure Schultz is playing.
It's gonna be interesting. You know, what really got to happen? They got to get Joe off his mark. Like they got to fuck up Joe.
Oh, Flacco?
Yeah.
You can't let Flacco sit back there and tear you apart. Will Anderson has to step up, obviously.
Cleveland's got a good offensive line, a top 5 offensive line.
Man, the Cleveland defense, though.
And that's a different story.
That Cleveland defense is something crazy right now. For those that don't realize, like Kevin Stefanski, something like that.
Don't ask.
Yeah. He definitely deserves Coach of the Year.
You don't think D'Amico Ryan gets it?
No.
So what if he wins this game?
I'll tell you what, I think the winner of this game gets Coach of the Year. I mean, dude, think about it. Now, don't get me wrong. For those that don't know, let me see. For those that don't know, what the Texans did this year. Where's the overlay to put up? This is the first year that first time in NFL history where a team has won their division with a rookie QB and a rookie head coach. Now they had some help. Obviously, the Jags had
to lose.
The Jags had one of the worst collapses I've ever seen.
Worse than Philly?
Look at this. Heading into week 13, they had an 8-3 record, bro. And next thing you know, they go 5. They go 1-6 in their last. 1-5 in their last 6 games, and missed the playoffs completely.
So what about Phillies then when they started off 10-1 and just collapsed afterwards?
Philly's still in the playoffs.
I mean, that's fair.
They're still in the playoffs. And granted, they're not the number 1 and number 2 seed. Philly still made it. The I threw it back into you. But the Jags missed. It's over with. Season done.
People are is Trevor a bust?
Man, I don't think Trevor's a bust. It's still early to say.
3-4 years? No, 3 years. He'll be 4 years next year, I think. Urban Meyer, 2 with Doug.
Yeah.
So 3.
Yeah, this is his 3rd year.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You heard that? Got shit falling on the patio roof. But yeah, this was definitely worse than what Philly did. Definitely,
fair enough.
Definitely worse what Philly did. But I mean, outside of that, Jared, who do you got?
I mean, they got both great storylines.
Great storylines.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Rookie quarterback, rookie head coach.
You would love to see the underdog win.
Love to, but then you got Joe Flacco.
Would love to see him get right off his couch and go win a Super Bowl. That would be the greatest
Super Bowl just to take the Browns past the playoffs.
Yo. Imagine Joe Flacco getting off his fucking couch and going to win a Super Bowl.
I think I'm about to go with the Browns on this one.
You going with the Browns on this one?
Yeah, simply because I think they have the better defense, and I think it's gonna get CJ off his game.
Yeah. I'm inclined to agree. I had the Browns for a while on this one. We talked about this for a while. I like their defense. Joe Flacco has been playing better than I've ever seen him play. And that's not to say like he had a great run when they won the Super Bowl in 2012. It was, I think.
Yeah.
When they won the Super Bowl in 2012, Joe Flacco had one of the greatest playoff runs we've ever seen in my life. Let me guess. Jared, you lit your cigarette and smoked it barely a little bit and just dropped it and it went through the crack in the floorboards.
Yep. Continue.
Anyway, Joe Flacco had one of the greatest playoff runs we've ever seen. So, who's to say that he can't do that again?
I would like him to. Like that's what we talked about with him going to play against Baltimore and beating his former team to go to the Super Bowl.
That would be, and you think the NFL's gonna pass up that storyline?
I'm saying that's gonna be talked about more than any other game.
Exactly. If the Texans win, don't get me wrong, nobody's gonna think the Texans are gonna beat the Ravens. If the Browns win, everybody's gonna think, hey, the Browns have a chance.
The Browns are something serious. Everybody's been saying like that. Nobody wants to play the Browns.
It's a sneaky good team. Sneaky good team. Even and then the worst part about all this though is that they're the best part. They're doing this without Nick Chubb
and Deshaun Watson
and no Deshaun Watson. That's why I'm telling you. I think Kevin Stefanski should be coach of the year.
Fair enough. Imagine what they would do with Nick Chubb back too.
Oof, man. I don't think he's not gonna be available. I think he's done. He's sat down for the rest of the season.
I'm not saying for this year. I'm talking about next year.
I mean, maybe.
We'll see.
Well, you gonna come back with Joe Flacco though when you're paying Deshaun Watson?
I'm not saying we go.
Oh, well, it's all dependent on Deshaun Watson if he can play like Joe played. Over under in this game is 44.5. I'm gonna take the under.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna take the under. I think.
Wasn't the last game like 31-33?
Fuck no.
That was the San Francisco game.
Yeah, they steamrolled the Texans last time they played because there was no C.J. Stroud, and I don't think it went over 40.
Okay.
So, because the Texans, I think, only scored 7 points that game.
Dang.
Yeah, they steamrolled them. So, I think C.J. accounts for about 10 more points.
Nico Collins too. Not Nico. Tank Dell.
Yeah, Tank Dell being out, he's not there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But with if C.J. Stroud coming back, I can see them getting about 10 more points. But I think it's going to be 24-17. I think that's going to be the final score, 24-17. Okay. Browns win it.
All right.
Next game, we got the Dolphins going to Arrowhead to play the Chiefs. Chiefs are a 4.5 point favorite. Over under in this game is a little even lower than the last one, 43.5. Jared, it's supposed to be like one of the coldest games in NFL history to be played.
Have you seen pictures of the stadium?
It's
blanketed.
It's blanketed in snow. Yeah, it is.
There's no stadium.
Yeah,
snow.
It's gonna be really cold.
Let me throw some two quick things at you. So, like we talked about, Miami is lost 10 straight games, right? Mm-hmm. In weather under 30 degrees, right? Mm-hmm. Kansas City is, I think, 1-4 or 1-5 against playoff teams. How do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, Devin, you heard about what Jared did? Dropping his cigarette, went right through the crack in the floorboard of the patio. Sad, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not repeating the whole thing.
I know. No, I know. I mean, Miami's a warm weather team.
Fair enough.
He needed to beat Buffalo on Sunday night and the last game of the season, and they couldn't do it.
Tua choked.
I don't even think it was just Tua. I think it was everybody.
But I mean, you can't throw that pick though.
But I saw Tyreek Hill drop a wide open, basically a touchdown. he catches it and comes down with it, it's a touchdown.
Fair enough. Maybe try to body it.
No, it's just he just
Drop it.
just dropped it. I saw him drop one against the Ravens.
When we need him to show up.
Yeah, I saw him drop one against the Cowboys. It was bad. He's had some drops this year. Now I still expect him to beat Tyreek Hill.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? The expectation, that's the reason why we look at those and we're like, oh my God, like, why is he dropping me? Because we have such high expectations of him and the player that he is that the drops get magnified. You see what I'm saying? They get highlighted.
Do you think that ankle injury is going to come into play?
No, I think he's 100% healthy. I think he'll be okay. Now, if he tweaks it during the game, that's a different story.
Well, yeah.
But I think he'll be fine. I think the Dolphins are just that even without the weather, they just don't have enough, especially defensively. Chiefs defense have been amazing all year, top 5 defense.
Oh yeah.
So I like the Chiefs in this one. With the spread, I'd probably take that. I'd probably take Chiefs -4.5.
Take the over or the under?
Under. I like the under in this one.
So the weather is a huge.
The weather's the biggest factor, especially for Miami.
I don't think Mostert's playing, so they may not be able to run the ball as much either.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs win this one. I'm gonna be honest. I think they win this one
single-handedly,
31-10. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, they can play in the snow. They know how to play in the snow.
Yeah, I think they just roll over the Dolphins like it's gonna be nothing.
Fair enough.
What about you?
I'm gonna go with KC on this one.
Yeah.
They home field advantage. They know how to play in the snow.
Yeah.
So
there you go. All right. On to the next one, last one for the AFC, for the wild card weekend. Steelers going into Buffalo to face the Bills. Bills are a 9.5-point favorite. That's crazy. Over under in this game's 34.5. Bills have won like their last 6 of 1 games. I got a little graphic here I was gonna show you. Where's it at? This is Josh Allen this season. This is before and after Joe Brady became OC. Now, his passing yards are down. Touchdown interception ratio has been the same. Passer ratings down. Completion percentage is down. Everything's down. Except look at the record, Jared. Do you know why that is, Jared?
Because they fired what's his face?
But what I'm saying is, do you know why his numbers are down, but they're winning more?
Oh, because he's not taking so many shots down the fucking field.
Exactly. He's not forcing the ball to Stephon Diggs. They're running the ball more and effectively. Their defense has, with as many injuries and hits as they've taken, their defense has stepped up.
Yeah.
It really has. Their defense has stepped up big time. And you got to give them credit for that. Like I said, 6-1 in their last 7 games. Ended on like a 5-game win streak, I think, to close out the season, which I said they would after they fired what's his name, Ken Dorsey, and Joe Brady became the OC. I knew it was going to come. They just needed to be a change.
So all right, so here's my thing: how long do you think Joe Brady stays the OC until he gets plugged for a head coaching job? Because because think about it, all that the successful OCs that go into playoffs with successful teams and shit like that, their teams get poached.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I still think that it's gonna take time for him.
No,
he's still gonna have a couple more years where he's an OC before he starts to get looked at as a head coach.
Well, I think he was also the head coach not the head coach, the OC for Carolina at one point, and he got fired.
Yeah, they don't have talent over in Carolina.
This wasn't this year.
Even last year, like
I don't know if it was this year or last year. I'll have to look it up.
They've had no talent in Carolina ever since they traded Christian McCaffrey
and Cam.
You see what I'm saying? Like, well, I'm just saying, like, since Christian McCaffrey left, there's been nobody else. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised, but I won't be surprised if he gets a look at as a head coach, but it won't be for another couple more years.
Fair.
But as far as this game goes, Steelers no T.J. Watt,
That's big.
no.
Who's playing quarterback?
I was say no Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph's playing, which just makes sense. He's had the hot hand. They've won 3 games in a row with him at quarterback.
Yeah. They gotta get Pickens the ball more.
They have to.
They have to.
They have to score, and that's going to be the biggest thing. Can this Steelers offense put up like 24 points?
If you can get Pickens 2 TDs in 120, you have a very good chance. A very good chance. Because if you get him going and you can get Najee going or Jalen Warren, you have a chance.
I think the biggest thing for me is no T.J. Watt.
Oh yeah,
that's huge.
Highsmith has got to step up huge in this one.
Do you think he can?
I don't know. I've seen him, but I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right, here's another question. Can Pittsburgh's defense stop the run?
I think they can.
Are they going to be able to make Josh Allen throw the ball?
They're gonna. I think they can stop the run. Their defense is still pretty good. I mean, Don't get me wrong. There's no replacing a T.J. Watt, but without T.J. Watt, there's still a pretty good defense.
Yeah, you got
Minka Fitzpatrick's still back there.
Yeah, and then you got Joey Porter Jr. You got Pat P on the other side.
Well, Pat P's playing safety now.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Patrick Peterson, he's trying to extend his career, so he's
trying to do what Woodson did.
Is weather a factor in this game? Like the Buffalo game? I don't think so.
I don't know what the weather's like in this one.
I mean, it'll be cold because it's January and it's Buffalo, but I don't think it'll be. I mean, they're both outside cold weather teams.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh plays in the snow all the time.
I was going to say, as far as snow, I don't think it's going to be snowing.
No, I don't think it's going to be snowing. I haven't heard anything about that game snowing. But it's going to be cold. It's Buffalo.
Yeah.
It's January. It's going to be cold.
Yeah, there just may be a chance it snows because it is fucking cold.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll be that big of a factor because both of these teams play in cold outside, state arenas. Pittsburgh is an outside stadium, an open stadium, and it gets really fucking cold in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Buffalo, even colder in Buffalo, and they're an outside stadium. So I don't see weather being a factor that big in this game. Because both of these teams are going to be used to it.
Yeah.
But I still like Buffalo to win this game. I will say that 9.5 is a little tricky. Because if Pittsburgh can somehow find a way to score the ball, then I don't see an issue with taking Pittsburgh plus 9.5. But the only question is can they do that?
Yeah.
Are they going to do that?
Yeah.
Because if so, I'd take the over. Easily, I'd take the over. But who's to say that happens or doesn't?
No, you're right.
I don't really believe in the Pittsburgh's offense as much as I believe even in the Buffalo defense because they've shown me in recent games that they can step up and play good football.
Yep.
So I need to see more from the Pittsburgh offense. If I'm just basing this off of probability and statistics, I'd probably take Buffalo. I'd probably alternate the spread, bring it down to like 6.5.
Yeah, because that 10's kind of high.
Yeah, 10's kind of high. I'd probably bring it down to about 6.5. And I'd go with that if you're going to go with that. If you're going to go Steelers, I'd maybe even bump it up to plus 11.5.
So they got to win by 11, right? Or they got to keep it?
Well, they got to lose by less than 12.
Okay. So they can win or lose by 12.
Exactly. Well, less than 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was asking in regards to snow. I feel like if snow is a factor to put a hit on the pass game, Pitt has a chance if it all comes down to the run game. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with the fact that they could run the ball way better than them if it comes down to that. But I think when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, You know, as long as you're putting him in good situations where he's not trying to
Oh
play
yeah.
hero ball,
Oh yeah.
he's going to play fantastic.
Yeah, as long as he's not forcing the ball all the
Exactly.
time.
Exactly. I mean, he's basically. It's funny that they're going against Pittsburgh because he's basically Ben Roethlisberger 2.0 in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I
The
mean?
same thing.
Yeah. Everybody was comparing him to Elway 2.0, and I was like, he's more like Roethlisberger 2.0. He's got the same size as Roethlisberger, but he's quicker, more agile, and he's got even more of a cannon arm.
So he's probably got a better arm.
Yeah, he's got more of a cannon arm than Roethlisberger is. He's 2.0 of that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but man, it's just hard to go with the Steelers. Like I said, I'd probably still go with the under on this one, only based off of what Pittsburgh has shown me. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
What Pittsburgh has shown me is that they're not going to be able to compete with the top teams in the league. Yes, they beat the Ravens, but they beat the Ravens with literally all their starters sitting.
Basically.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So that's not a good assessment on how they are against playoff teams.
And who did Pittsburgh beat the last 3 games? You know? Besides Baltimore.
I think they beat Seattle. I think Seattle was a team that they beat. Obviously, the Ravens last week. Man, who did the Steelers play 2 weeks ago? I can't remember who they played. Not 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Because they played Seattle and then Baltimore, I'm pretty sure.
Baltimore, Seattle. Yeah. Baltimore, Seattle, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. That's who it was. Yeah. So Cincinnati's not in the playoffs. Seattle's not in the playoffs. Now, those were playoff fringe teams, but the Steelers were a playoff fringe team. See what I'm saying? And then they're going against a team who's won their last 5 straight games. Straight momentum right now. Playing their best football going into the playoffs.
Fair.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I still like the Bills in this one.
I don't want to take the Bills, but I have to.
You have to.
I have to.
I know you do. You have to. You really gonna go with Pittsburgh?
No.
Exactly.
Can't do it with Rudolph.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So
as long as they're not playing Cleveland.
Did you see them when they played earlier in the year and one of the Steelers guys lost his helmet and Myles Garrett picked it up and gave it to him and they're like, yo, chill. He's like, what?
No, we know. We know.
All right.
Talk about this game.
On to the next one. We got the Packers going into Dallas to face the Cowboys. Cowboys are a -7 in this game, full touchdown. Over under in this one's 50.5 though. Pretty high. Obviously the Cowboys play so much better at home than they do on the road. Packers are a really young team. Youngest team to make the playoffs since like the 1970s.
That's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Because one of the storyline with the coaches. 2, Jordan Love's can either prove he's the franchise quarterback winning this game.
Well, I mean, he could still play well and they could still lose because that Packers defense is abysmal.
Yeah, but okay. So let's say they only put up 10 points. Do you still stand by that?
Who?
With Jordan Love and Green Bay only put up 10 points against Dallas. Do you think he still could be the franchise?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is his first year as a starter. You know, you got to give him some time to get his feet. Well, he's shown the last few games that he's picking up more and more on it. You know, he's been up and down all season. He's been up and down all season. So you see the signs and the flashes, but can he become more consistent? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's how you maintain a contract in this league is by the consistency of your play.
Now, if Dallas loses this game, is that a wrap on McCarthy?
If Dallas somehow loses this game,
Is that a wrap?
it's gotta be. It's gotta be, bro. Because you can't keep doing this to yourselves. And you got to get somebody else in there. And if they do decide to keep him, I'll be shocked. I really will.
Dan Quinn's the defensive coordinator, right?
Yes.
So who's to say he doesn't leave and go to Seattle and become the head coach in Seattle?
There's been talks about that, but I wouldn't do that.
Well, didn't he go to Seattle at one point?
He used to coach there.
Okay.
He was the defensive coach for the Legion of Boom.
Okay.
So I don't like Dan Quinn as the head coach over there. They need to move on from the whole Legion of Boom era and start fresh.
Pete Carroll's got a front office job.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like just move on from this Legion of Boom shit and start fresh on a new era of football.
What time you gotta leave?
I gotta be out of here by like 2:40.
It's almost 2.
We got time.
Okay.
But I like the Cowboys in this game, as much as it pains me. I mean, they're gonna roll them, bruh. That defense is horrendous. Now, that's not to say that I think the Packers score some points, but I'm liable to take the over in this game.
I would take it over.
And it's mainly because of how much the Cowboys are going to score.
Yeah. Do you think Jair can hold CD?
No.
This is gonna be an interesting one.
No, bro. They throw it to CD like 15 times a game now. No.
Yeah. Look for a Brandon Cooks touchdown too.
I expect that.
Watch them get into the red zone, they'll throw a Cooks touchdown.
That's terrible, bro. That game's going to be bad. I think they're going to roll them. I don't think it's going to be even close.
What are you gonna do if Dallas loses though?
I'm going to jump up and down and pray and thank God that I was wrong. I'll be forever grateful.
We'll be laughing for the next 2 days.
I'm saying, 2 days, man. We get to talk about that for the whole season, till the whole off season.
Whole off season. I forgot about that.
Oh man, we get to talk about how they choked, how they gave it away.
The last 3 times too.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it could be close if the Packers can score, but it all depends on that if they can score. But I'm liable to. I'd probably just go Cowboys money line in this game. And if you're taking over under, I'd probably take the over.
Yeah.
All right. On to the next one. We have the Rams going into Detroit to face the Lions. Lions are a -3 favorite in this one. Basically saying even teams, but the Lions get the edge because they're at home. Over under is 51.5. Matt Stafford's returned to Detroit.
No Sam Laporta.
No Sam Laporta for Detroit, though.
As far as I know.
That's big.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt them.
That's big. Lions undoubtedly much better at home than they are on the road.
Gibbs and Montgomery are going to step up.
I like the Lions in this one.
Fair enough.
I like the Lions in this one.
Who's to say Stafford doesn't show out for his homecoming?
I mean, I could see that. Don't get me wrong.
Because Detroit don't play defense.
Detroit plays better defense at home. That's what I'm trying to say. They're much better team at home than they are on the road. Much better team. And even with no Sam Laporta, I still like. They still got Amon-Ra Brown. They still got Amon-Ra St. Brown. They still got Jahmyr Gibbs. They still got Montgomery in the backfield. Their offensive line is still top 10 in the league.
I think Detroit's gonna be on fire after that whole Detroit Dallas.
Oh my God! And you know how bad they want, because they know that the Packers are going to win, and if the Lions win, then they automatically get to play. They'll most likely automatically get to play the Cowboys back in Dallas. They'd get a rematch of that game.
Yeah, but would they have Laporta for that one too?
Possibly.
I don't know. It's a knee injury.
But you rehab. You don't play him this week because you can feel that you can win him. But if he's good to go next week, you put him out there regardless.
Yeah, fair enough.
You see what I'm saying? And man, the lines are going to be up for that game. I can tell you that right now.
Oh yeah.
They are going to be up for that one after what happened.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. But that's still a week out, and they still have to get past the Rams. But I like the Lions in this one. At home, I'd probably just go money line. That even that 3 points kind of scares me. um, I'd probably go over in this game as well.
I think it's gonna be a shootout.
I think it's gonna be a
I think
shootout.
Stafford's gonna have something to prove for.
Oh
Like,
well, yeah. Well, I think they both got something to prove.
Yeah.
Goff definitely has something to prove too. Like, hey, you fucked up. You won a Super Bowl, but I was still the right call because I'm younger.
Yeah, I also took y'all to the Super Bowl too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But I mean, Stafford's got, hey, Detroit, y'all fucked up with me. You saw me win a Super Bowl, and now I'm thriving over here, and y'all are still stuck in the rut.
And it's yeah. So I think out of all these games, which one do you think is the best one?
Probably this one.
I was thinking the same thing.
I'd probably say this is going to be the best game.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Browns and Texans can be pretty good. But as far as like the best game of the weekend, I think it's going to be Rams Lions.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, moving on to this one.
We got the Eagles at the Bucks. Last game of the week. That's on a Monday, I want to say. But Eagles on the road are actually a 3-point favorite.
This is a get right game for both teams.
Over under is 43.5. Jared, who do you like? Oh wait, you never told me who you liked in the last game. The Rams.
Oh, the Lions.
Oh, you like the Lions
yeah,
too?
I got the Lions.
Who do you like here?
I kind of want to take Tampa. I mean, Philly's on a spiral.
They are.
And Tampa's at home.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's that defense too, for Philly. And from what I've heard, Jalen hasn't thrown all week. I think AJ Brown's still hurt, and I don't know anything about Devontae Smith, but that's literally your star three players right there. If they're not 100%, you may not win this game.
Yeah.
And then I think I heard something about Brian Johnson getting interviewed for like another position or another coaching job somewhere too. So I know coach is happy about that. So
yeah, I gotta agree with you. I like the Bucks here. I've been saying it mostly all week. The Eagles matchup in this one, it's a bad matchup for their defense. I mean, look what happened last week when they were going up against Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodgins, and Jalen Hyatt. And now they have to go up against Mike Evans, Chris Godwin.
and Rashad White's pretty good too at the backfield.
I'm saying, these guys are no slouches.
Yeah.
OJ Howard's they're
I don't know who the tight end
tight
is.
end or Cameron Brate.
No, I think it's Kate Otten. I don't know who it is
Kate
anymore.
Otten, one of them.
I don't know who it is anymore.
But I mean, I still think that they're a good. They're a solid team. I don't think they're bad, and this isn't going to be an easy one for the Eagles to win this.
No, but it's not gonna be the same for Tampa Bay either.
Yeah, Tampa Bay has to come out swinging
because they already played them before, and I don't remember what the final score was, but they lost. I know that much.
You just have to play better now.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a get right game for both teams.
It is. It is a get right game. I won't disagree with that. But I'm over under in this one. 43.5.
I think we'll go with the under.
I'm gonna go with the over. In this one. I think the Bucks are gonna score points, and it's gonna force the Eagles to score.
Fair. That's probably gonna call them not be able to win it too.
Yeah. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines like 27-23, 27-24. It's gonna be the final for this game, and I think the Bucks come out on top. So I'd take the Bucks outright money line in this one. So, but yeah, that is all the games that we got for Wildcard Weekend. 6 games. They got 2 on tomorrow, 3 on Sunday, and then 1 more on Monday.
Wouldn't it just make sense just to do? How do you say it?
There's 2 on Saturday. There's 3 on Sunday, and then the Eagles and Bucks games on Monday.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's fair, I guess.
Yeah. So they got the Eagles. I mean, they got Houston and Texans. That's the first one, and then you got Miami Chiefs. That's the game that's going to be exclusively streamed on Peacock.
That's stupid.
So, hey, I got Peacock. I'm not
I
worried.
think we got Peacock too, but I don't think I'm really worried about it. I'll listen. I got Sirius. I can listen to it.
But you got that, and then Sunday games. You got Bills Pittsburgh's first game, and then Cowboys Packers, and then Rams Lions, and then you got Buccaneers Eagles last game on Monday.
Primetime game. That's good.
Yep. Yeah, it should be a good game.
Yeah,
it should be a really good game. Y'all make sure to go follow us on Twitter at After the Huddle, and also be sure to go check out the Sharps app. Really good app. Y'all go in there. You can see people who are putting up bets, winners, losers. You socialize in there. Talk about stats and everything as well. You can connect to your favorite sports book. You can connect with anyone, Prize Picks, Underdogs, the big ones like MGM and FanDuel. You can connect those as well, and share with other people throughout. It's like a social media of betting. I think it's a pretty unique idea. So y'all go check it out. Our code is at the bottom here, JRED344. Y'all go put that code in. And we'll be back probably Wednesday because I have work Tuesday.
Okay.
So we'll probably be back Wednesday. And we'll talk about the games. We'll go over, what happened and everything, and possibly pick as well into next week what we're gonna think with the other games are gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So getting shorter and shorter every time each week.
Yeah. We're getting down to the nitty gritty of everything. It's about to be, we're about to get down to our 1 show per week basis again for the off season, and we'll keep everybody updated on that schedule. But for right now, let's just enjoy the football that we got left, until next season.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, thank y'all all for joining. Thank y'all all for chatting it up. We appreciate everybody in the comments, everybody that watches. Y'all make sure you subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff they do on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere where we're at. We built a TikTok. We're going to start putting shorts on there. We got everything going. So we appreciate everybody, and we will see y'all on Wednesday.